Taylor Swift was defeated by Blade Stab Dagger via TKO. Those two fighters they lost to actually ended up being the finals of this year, with Curtis Prancer as your heavyweight Kumite champion. But all those statistics aside, Kyle, this is going to be two big boys punching the shit out of each other.
You've got the straightforward brick shithouse power of Taylor Swift versus the odd angles and peekaboo style that you're going to see from Roger Mars. Mars is going to be not going to be flat-footed. He's going to be bouncing, jumping, and hippity-hopping all around while he hits those shots from odd angles and in odd spots. You ever see someone punch someone in the armpit? Well, Roger Mars can hit someone in the armpit, and trust me,
not intentionally, but okay, I believe you. Not intentionally, but I believe you on that. And you mentioned of course Brick Shithouse, of course one of the legendary boxers, the trainers of Taylor Swift, Brick Shithouse himself. Taylor Swift began as a boxer, a heavyweight boxer, and you see it in his style. He just opts to go for punches, but you add the leniency of mixed martial arts to do what he's doing right now, dirty box, to lean on an opponent, to just add your weight. I mean, Taylor Swift is big. Taylor Swift has a lot of weight to press on an opponent, and when Taylor Swift is pushing the weight, that's what happens. Getting punched in the face by Taylor Swift, but Mars knocks down Taylor Swift.
Beautiful counter back. They're just going for a brawl now. There's no technique. They're throwing hands, beautiful duck under by Roger Mars. He's playing smart, sticking with his technique, trying to lean in and out. And that does not play well into Taylor Swift's favor.
Well, you absolutely called it, Cal. It was the counter punch that did Taylor Swift in and scored that knockdown for Maz, because it was just Taylor Swift was getting a bit aggressive, and Maz kind of stepped back, leaned back, and fired with a counter that landed perfectly.
And Roger, I don't like him trying to tie up Taylor Swift. I know he must be a little bit tired. He needs his rest. But if you're tying up Taylor Swift, you're playing exactly into his game. That's when he can land those short jabs and look at that uppercut.
Just like
right
that.
There.
That uppercut could have spelled absolute disaster from Roger Maz. I mean, when Taylor Swift has you cornered and then can punch you in the jaw, I mean, the end is nigh.
Oh yes, indeed. Roger might have a little bit of a benefit on the ground, but I don't know if he really does want to go with the ground because he could get overpowered. He does have the long legs and he does have the speed advantage. So right now he's just got to avoid the dirty boxing and stick back to retreating and hitting those counters. Like
counter hook you see there, but again he starts swinging and they both just start brawling for a second. But you can see the strategy of Taylor Swift to just press on Roger Maz up against the ropes is kind of working. Maybe Maz is not thinking as clearly. He's a bit fatigued. He might be just thinking about keeping the life in his legs of those kangaroo DNA infested legs.
Honestly, you would think he would be a much better kicker, but it doesn't really benefit those. It allows him to hop around and have the speed, but those kicks don't work nearly as well.
That was a left hand. That the fact that Maz is still conscious speaks of the toughness and the chin that Maz has.
Oh yeah.
Again, just a reminder, Roger Maz, his DNA includes kangaroo DNA, which is why you'll only see him in Kumite, and he has smelled blood and is going for the kill. This is an interesting place to be. Oh, knee to the head! Knee to the head! This could spell disaster for Taylor Swift!
Honestly,
the leg speed!
I love that work to the body. That work to the body is perfect at the end, because Taylor Swift is instinctively going to go for the head, but Mars has the angle on that body perfectly. And 4 or 5 of those right in the liver, and you're looking at hello cirrhosis.
And that is a very emphatic way to get a big win. Roger Maz defeats Taylor Swift by TKO. Cal, look at this replay. We were talking about how Roger Maz not a very strong kickboxer, not very strong kicks, despite the kangaroo DNA. But you can see what it's doing. It's giving him speed, and when you add gravity and when you add the leverage that he's got from that top position, that leaves some very deadly knees. And that is a case where his leg speed is really doing the best. That is a man that is Pat Kangaroo beating up a gentleman named Taylor Swift. And that is something you will only see in Kumite.
It's that fast twitch muscle, and now Taylor Swift has to worry about being having two straight back-to-back losses in a row.